I extend a warm welcome to all to Timeless Affairs. Upon entering the room, I noticed my nephew seated on the floor, holding his tool. A mix of excitement and nervousness enveloped me as my thoughts were overtaken by desire. I invite you to explore my channel where I share these personal narratives, and I encourage you to subscribe for more engaging stories. Indeed. You have interpreted that correctly. I found myself yearning for the company of a man in more adventurous circumstances. What actions do you take when you find yourself in your room with your 22-year-old cousin present? My older cousin stood there, tool in hand. If you share my perspective, you may find yourself opting for the most captivating and exhilarating choices. Gathering courage and perhaps a touch of audacity, I decided to follow my desire. Where did my gaze turn to my cousin? There I was in the room watching. I gave him a light tap on the shoulder to wake him up. When he opened his eyes, I told him I'd heard some sounds outside and asked him to take a look. It was just an excuse to get him up. My plan was going. As expected, he got out of bed a little worried. While I kept my mischievous smile, he left the room, trying not to make any noise as if he were on unfamiliar terrain. Indeed he was. He quickly left, adding a dramatic touch to the scene. His eye soon adjusted to the darkness. As I watched, he walked. He headed towards the door as if looking for something. The excuse of strange noises served to get him out of bed, and it worked. He walked down the hallway as if he were the protagonist of a movie, his bare feet softly touching the floor to make no noise. Every step seemed like a small triumph over the past. The night was silent. He felt like a movie hero even though he was just looking for answers outside. My cousin looked out the windows as if he were searching for something, even though he knew there was nothing out there but the silence. But his curiosity kept him moving with heightened senses, trying to identify any sign that justified his leaving the room. The environment was so calm that he could hear even the most subtle sound, like the rustling of leaves and the occasional chirp of a night insect. He searched the surroundings, looking out that he checked the window and looked around the house, but there was nothing out of the ordinary. What intrigued him and made him a bit suspicious was that the noises he'd heard were now completely absent. He wondered if it might have just been a dream or a trick of his mind. After a few minutes of investigation, he returned to the room, a little frustrated but not showing it. I was still there, waiting with a satisfied smile on my face. He came in, seemingly relieved that he hadn't found anything strange. When he settled back into bed, I gave him a light tap on the shoulder and said in a soft voice. I told him it was just a prank to get him up. He looked at me with a mix of irritation and amusement. Knowing that I had tricked him deep down, he was relieved to have found out there was no reason to worry and a bit impressed by the cleverness of the situation. Finally, he smiled and shook his head, understanding the trick. The atmosphere of tension was replaced by a feeling of camaraderie. As we both laughed about the situation, we settled back down and the night continued in tranquility, the sense of adventure replaced by the comfort of silence. Once again, the mission that started with a simple desire for company ended with a quiet night and a new bond created through an innocent game. As the silence returned to the room, I couldn't help but reflect on how that little trick had changed the night's atmosphere. The shared laughter and subsequent lightness were a reminder of how simple moments can create unexpected connections. My cousin, now more relaxed, turned to me and commented with a smile that despite the surprise, he found it amusing. He was ready to go back to sleep, but I knew that adventure would be remembered as a small adventure. That broke the routine of our night. As the night progressed, calm returned to our bodies and the warmth of comfort spread through us. The gentle sound of my cousin's breathing was the only thing that broke the silence. I realized how important those moments of lightness and fun were. Even in the most unusual situations, the next morning brought a new energy and a sense of renewal. The night had been a mix of boldness and tenderness. It was a reminder that even in common situations, small adventures can arise that connect us in a special way. In the end, the desire for bold company resulted on a more valuable note. We had a night of laughter, a stronger bond, and a memory that will stick with us for a long time. The experience went beyond expectations and showed that sometimes the best stories are those that come from the most unexpected moments and the surprises that life has in store for us. The sun began to appear through the curtain cracks, announcing the start of a new day. My cousin, still a little sleepy, stretched and began to get ready for the morning. The sense of lightness left by the previous night surrounded us, and the environment was full of renewed energy. As he left the room, I couldn't help but think about how those simple and spontaneous moments can create lasting memories. Little Trick had made the night memorable, and I was grateful to have shared it with him. He turned to me with a smile and commented on how, despite being suspicious at first, the prank had been fun. We agreed that sometimes it takes a bit of creativity to turn the ordinary into something extraordinary. We woke up to the new morning with a different energy, each following our path with a smile on our face. Breakfast was we had a great time chatting and laughing together as if we'd known each other for years. The sense of friendship and fun carried on throughout the day, and we enjoyed catching up on our conversations and interactions. Life went on as usual, but we still remembered that unusual night as a reminder that we can have fun even in our everyday routines. We realized that we enjoy each other's company, so we played a little prank on each other. It made us appreciate these moments of fun and find joy in the surprises life offers. As the night went on, I knew we'd remember it as a great example of how, even in everyday situations, fun and connection can arise in surprising ways. So, life went on, and we were all the better for it. The night was full of spontaneity and humor, turning the ordinary into something extraordinary. It left us with a legacy of laughter and good memories that would last a long time. As the day went on, the rhythm of the routine re-established itself, but the sense of lightness from the previous night still hung in the air. My cousin and I went on with our day, but we were all the better for it. We chatted about how to make the most of our daily commitments and how to find fun and connection in the little things during the day. We also talked about other plans and ideas and how that unexpected moment reminded us that even in the most routine situations, there is always room for a bit of fun and creativity. The conversation was full of plans for future small adventures, and we laughed about the previous night. It showed how spontaneity can create lasting bonds. When we relaxed at home, we thought about the previous night and we shared stories about how each of us we felt. The dialogue between us deepened, revealing a new layer of understanding and mutual appreciation. The feeling of attraction, action, and desire that arose from that little adventure became an important part of our relationship. The lightness and connection we experienced served as a reminder that life doesn't always have to be serious, and that simple moments can be incredibly valuable over time. Those moments became part of our shared narrative, a constant reminder that life is full of surprises and that it is important to be open to them. The stories and laughter that came from that night became a favorite anecdote that we always talked about and which reinforced our bond in an unexpected and meaningful way. Thus, life continued to be enriched by the ability to find joy and connection in the simplest moments. The memory of that night not only brought laughter and good memories, but also taught us to appreciate and celebrate spontaneity and the spirit of adventure that can transform every day into something truly special. With that, we learned that the best experiences often come from unforeseen situations and that the real magic is in enjoying every moment. As the weeks went by, we kept that memory close, like a small flame that warmed our hearts and reminded us of the importance of seizing every opportunity to connect and have fun. The story became a favorite anecdote that we shared with friends and family, always with a smile and a touch of nostalgia. That night had a ripple effect, influencing other areas of our lives with renewed confidence and a sense of closeness. My cousin and I began to explore more activities together, looking for new ways to create memories. We enjoyed the time we spent together, and the idea of seizing unexpected moments and turning common situations into adventures became a guiding philosophy for us. Our encounters became more vibrant and full of creativity. On another night, we decided we wanted to do something in a different corner. I asked him which place he would like to do it, and he replied, in the kitchen. That's when I realized I had no idea what was right or wrong anymore. I could only feel how happy he made me. The memory of that night also influenced how we approached challenges. In days to be continued, we decided to tackle day-to-day situations with a more positive outlook. We looked for the bright side and ways to learn and grow. We realized that even the simplest moments can have a big impact. When we reflected on that night, we saw how it brought laughter and a sense of camaraderie. It also taught us the importance of being open to new experiences and finding joy in the little things. It showed us that we can turn a desire into a shared experience. Our memories showed us that the real magic of life lies in living with a spirit of curiosity and adventure. So as we continued our journey, we carried with us the memory of that special night as a constant reminder that amid routines and challenges, there is always room for creativity, fun, and connection. Life enriched by these experiences became a vibrant tapestry of meaningful and joyful moments where spontaneity and the willingness to enjoy the present make all the difference. Thank you for following this wonderful story. Please leave your comments and subscribe for more videos like